don't do bacon. I'm feeling the feel, I ain't stealing, I'm taking. I got a non-dairy creamer in my jeans. I'm happy to see you, if you know what I mean. Let's get it on.
Hello, vegan freaks, and welcome to another edition of Vegan Freak Radio. It's the 4th of September, and I'm Bob.
And I'm Jenna.
And Jenna's sitting here making funny faces at me because I swore that last week she opened the show, and I swore I was right. So I went to the show, and I'm like, look, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I played it, and guess what?
I was right. I opened the show.
She opened the show last week.
Because you said that you opened the show, but I did.
I was wrong.
Yes.
I'm used to it. What can I do? So anyway, yeah. We got another exciting show for you this week. All kinds of things going on. We got our normal shout-outs at the beginning of the show, and then we're going to follow that with...
talking about the Toronto Food Fair, part of our shout-outs. Absolutely.
Then we have some more serious thoughts on the hurricane that hit the southern United States.
And then we're going to talk about just a little bit more about last week. We had talked about hypotheticals that people always throw at you when you tell them that they're vegan.
Yeah, we're going to return to those hypotheticals. And then we're going to play for you some interesting music by a person called Y. And the song is Darla, and this is recommended by Rococo Loco, who is a member of our forums over at veganfreak.com.
Yeah. And then we're going to play for you our very first audio comment. Somebody finally asked us a question through audio and left us a nice long comment, and so we'll play you some of that and respond to his question.
Yeah, we'll definitely play a little clip from that. Also, we're going to talk a bit about what it means to represent every single vegan in the world through everything you do, because whether or not you know it, you are the representative for an entire global movement in the eyes of every media you meet.
Indeed. And then we'll have a little bit of comments on Bob's little segment on Eric Marcus's podcast.
Yep, over at vegan.com. He played me on a show on his most recent podcast and had some reaction. I like to react to his reaction, to react a little bit.
React to the,
yeah.
React.
And I think that's it, though, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's begin with some shout-outs this week.
First one goes to VegCast, who gave us some nice props on his show. He's only had 2 so far, but I think there are more coming now. I guess he was at the Johnstown food. It wasn't a food fair. It was a conference. Yeah.
It's like the vegetarian meeting for North America or something.
Yeah, and so he got some interviews with Dr. Greger and has a lot of good things on his show. So
yeah, he did. He had a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good recording on there. Also want to say hi to Sarah Kramer out there. She was kind enough to pimp us a little bit on her I don't know, it's on her blog, right? It's just like her site, Go Vegan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff. She got some updates about her upcoming cookbook, which I think is coming out at the beginning of October. And she's going to be at the Toronto Vegetarian Food Fair too, so for those of you who want to watch her do some cooking demonstrations.
So yeah, we wanted to say thanks to her and for all the nice support. And she also sent us something nice in exchange for our book.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Yeah. And we also say happy 6-month birthday, I guess you'd call it, anniversary to Cosmos.
Yeah, man. Cosmos, 6 months in the business. Pretty cool.
Very cool. And they're going strong. So, go to their site, check out the new stuff. They have some really nice new wallets. They're very cool.
Hey, and you should sign up for their newsletter.
Yeah, because then you get a discount code.
Yeah, man, you get discounts. It's like a secret.
Yeah.
But it's not that much of a secret. Anyway, go there and sign up for the newsletter. We also want to say hi to Animal Voices. And Animal Voices, in case you don't know, is at animalvoices.ca. It's a great show that I've been listening to for pretty much since, for a while now. We're actually going to be on Animal Voices.
Yeah, they're going to interview us on real radio.
Yeah.
not just podcasts.
Not like this crackhead podcasting crap.
Right. This is amateurish here.
Yeah, I mean, we're squeezed around some tiny little USB microphone. It's ridiculous. But we're going to be on Animal Voices. I don't know exactly when yet.
No, I guess they'll tell us. I hope.
I hope they'll tell us. But we're going to be on with them tomorrow, at least to the interviews tomorrow, Monday. And so I wanted to say hi to Animal Voices, and thanks for having us on. We're looking forward to it.
Definitely. Can't wait.
Yeah, me either. And then there's the Toronto Food Fair.
Yes, the 9th through the 11th of September in Toronto, of course.
Yeah, so this is, of course, a shout-out to the entire Toronto Vegetarian Association. And this thing looks amazing. All kinds of food, all kinds of presentations from famous people.
Yeah, Carol Adams is going to be there. Eric Marcus is going to be there. T. Colin Campbell, who wrote the China Study.
And they even let the bums like us in
Yeah,
there.
I know. Silly them.
It's like this whole group of people that are like famous. And
Yeah, Brenda Davis, she wrote Becoming Vegan. I'm sorry, I'll find the title.
Becoming, yeah.
Becoming Vegan. It's all about health and nutrition.
Right.
So.
Davis and Melina are the two authors.
Yeah.
So there are all these famous people there, and then there's going to be us. That's so funny. I can't believe it. This isn't to say we're famous, because we aren't.
No, we're not.
Nowhere near it. I'm just surprised that I'm in that kind of company. But anyway, we're doing a workshop. If you're in the Toronto area or want to go to the Toronto area, we're doing a pretty cool workshop called Going Vegan, the Cold Tofu Approach.
Yeah, and we're going to be discussing some of what it means to become vegan, not necessarily from the food angle, because other people will be talking about that, but from, how it affects your life and your relationships and all that.
Yeah, so that's in what's called the Loft, and I have no idea where that is or what that is. I'm guessing it's a loft.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, Saturday, September 10th at 12. And then after that, we're going to do a book signing from 1 to 1:30 in what's called the Avenue tent. I guess I'm giggling because I can't imagine anyone will want my autograph or signature on a book.
I know, I'm used to signing things for students, and that's about the extent of it.
Here, sign this paper. I need to drop physics.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just strange, but it's cool. I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to just go walk around the fair.
And there's something else scribbled here on the paper, but I can't understand what the hell it says.
It's my handwriting. And because we're going to be in Toronto next weekend, we're probably going to be posting our show a little bit later than usual. But we're going to bring our mini disc player and our microphone and hopefully get some on-the-street interviews.
Yeah, man, I hope we can pick up some cool interviews. Hopefully people won't just laugh at us while we're there. Be like, you want to interview me? Yeah, right. Suck up. Pop.
So we hope to maybe meet some of you. Anybody listening who's in the Toronto area?
Yeah, if you're in the Toronto area and you want to meet us, drop by, man. Drop by our session. The session that we have in mind isn't like, I'm not going to sit up there and lecture, and I don't think you are either, right?
No, it's mostly discussion.
Yeah, I'm hoping just to kind of lay a foundation for discussion for people who are curious about veganism. Mm-hmm. So if you're already a vegan, you want to come out and give some support to people who might go vegan, that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and if you don't want to see us, to say hell with us, just go for some good vegan food.
Yeah, man, the vegan food, I would think there'd be plenty of it.
Exactly.
So, you can buy our book there too.
Yeah, true.
You don't even have to have a sign or anything.
No.
Okay. Well, that's it for the shout-outs, and we need to move into something maybe a little more serious, and that's some discussion of the hurricane.
Yeah, it's been really sad and almost surreal, the whole situation. That the actual day the hurricane hit, it wasn't that bad, but the week after, we're just deteriorated.
I mean, I actually think that what it boils down to is that the people that couldn't leave the city are people who had no transportation, had no money, had no cars, no way of getting out, and so they're stranded there. And the utter lack of concern that's been displayed for these people, I think, is really disgusting. It's
absolutely disgusting. You see the pictures and you hear the reports. The reporters down there just can't believe how bad it is. I mean, people are living in their own filth. And Eric Marcus already talked about this on his podcast, but it just bears repeating that all the reporters said that they've been treated like animals. And my reaction to this is, yeah, they have, because it sounds an awful lot like a battery cage. They're living among their own filth. They're crammed in there. They have no food, no water. It sounds like the forced molting period, for egg-laying hens. And they shouldn't be treated like that, and neither should animals, of course. In my opinion, it's sad that we can say something like that, but
no, I think it is too, and I actually think that the utter and complete disinterest that the Bush administration has shown for these people is disgusting. I mean, I'm really offended by it, and not only that, I'm outraged by it. I mean, I really feel like had it been someone else besides poor black people would have that the administration would have been there and done something. But I feel like that these people, being poor people, being largely people of color, were just kind of cast off by the administration, and they just didn't care. Yeah. And if you watch Bush when he was down there, he was chuckling and giggling. And it was like he was having a good time,
Yeah, and then he just up and leaves, and he didn't even really go into New Orleans, and he's probably scared to, rightfully so. I mean, these people were angry, and a lot of lives could have been saved had they gotten there sooner. And we're supposedly the most powerful country in the world, so they say all the time, and we can't get help to these people in time. I mean, people are dying in the hospitals, they're dying in the convention center, they're just pushing the bodies over to the side. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's really amazing to me, and just the racism and classism that operates through the whole thing is disgusting as well. And in some of the media, you actually hear people blaming the people that are there.
Yeah, because they didn't get out. They couldn't get out.
Yep. I can't even. It's ineffable.
Right.
And not in a good way.
No.
But we wanted to encourage you to give some money to some organizations that we think are really, really going to help out with the recovery effort. first, we should mention noahswish.org.
Yeah, they're not only going to help people, but also their animals.
Yeah.
So I've heard some sad stories that people have had to leave their animals behind, and they couldn't take them with them on the buses or to the shelters, and it's really kind of a sad situation for all of them because they didn't want to leave their animals behind.
And another organization we're going to mention is the Rainbow World Fund. I don't know if you know, but if you give money to, for example, the Salvation Army, the Salvation Army in the United States has had a history of being somewhat homophobic or having anti-gay positions. The Rainbow World Fund, however, uses 100% of your donation. It's an organization that's largely, that is run by the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community, and the money really goes to a good place. So it's not like you're going to support an organization that's going to work against interests of equity.
Exactly. And of course, there's the Red Cross. Listen to me. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. The Red Cross. There we go. Who goes to help everyone. So.
Yeah. So any of those, in at least as far as we can tell, any of those organizations are really solid. And I just think we need to kind of give as much as we possibly can to those groups. And I'm just floored by the utter lack of concern for people. It just really bothers me.
Yeah, and now to think of what they're going to do to help just clean up and rebuild, and we wonder how long it's going to take and if they're going to be able to rebuild at all.
Man.
Sad.
Heavy.
Yeah, this whole week's been heavy because of that. But
well, let's maybe try to move into something a little less heavy, huh?
Yeah. A little bit more vegan, I guess.
A little bit more vegan?
That is the reason for our podcast, I suppose. But it's the hurricane is such big news, you have to talk about it. So.
This is true. I mean, there's no way to avoid it.
No. And like I read somewhere that, I think it was on Animal Friendly Life, you mentioned, humans are animals too, so we need to think about humans, of course.
Absolutely we do. Ooh, but one other thing I just remembered. It was great because I was listening to BBC Radio 4. They have this little Today segment in a podcast. And in one of those podcast segments from a day or two ago, the BBC reporter went after Senator Trent Lott from Mississippi. I mean, just laid into him. You remember that?
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. So if you can catch that, it's great because he really takes Senator Lott to task. And if you don't know, I mean, we have a fair number of international listeners, but if you don't know, Senator Trent Lott is really pretty much a horrible person. He's talked in the past about how he wanted to go back to the days of segregation and back to the good old days of white boy racism in the South, and it's just pathetic. But the reporter goes after him.
Yeah, that's good. And in fact, I've heard just in general, some of the reporters going after the politicians who are all saying, "Oh yeah, we're doing such a great job, we're doing all we can," and even like the people from CNN were like flipping out, going, "I just saw a dead body floating by," So yeah, things are pretty bad.
Yeah, but anyway, to step away from the hurricane into something a little less heavy, a little more perhaps vegan related. We'll get into this discussion of hypotheticals. We talked about hypotheticals last week for a little bit. Yeah,
and the things that people say to you that they try and challenge you. So this is our hypothetical that a listener sent in, Alexandra from Melbourne. She said one of the things that she heard was, "You're all alone on an island where there's no food or water. When it starts raining cooked chickens, would you eat them?" I mean, this is just absurd.
It requires some real brain power to come up with that one, too.
Yeah. I mean, raining, not just chickens, but cooked chickens.
Cooked chickens.
Yeah.
Falling out of the sky.
Falling out of the sky.
Well, they have to be cooked or you would never eat them, right?
I guess.
Holy hell. And, so Alexandra, she's trying to start a committee in her high school devoted to raising awareness to animal cruelty and to create more veg-friendly options in her school. And that's a great thing to do if you're in school. I mean, and we really want to say hi to her and thank her for throwing that hypothetical our direction. I think it's a good
laugh.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, you're on a desert island. When are you ever on a desert island?
Yeah, most islands, when you think of like a stereotypical island, it's tropical, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not desert.
Maybe they mean deserted.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I just like to eat dessert on an island.
That sounds good to me.
Hawaii.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very nice.
Well, anyway, I've never been anywhere where chickens have started falling out of the sky, cooked or uncooked.
Right.
So that's completely absurd.
It just goes to show you the lengths that meat eaters will go to make you look ridiculous, when actually they're making themselves look a little ridiculous. There.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine trying to wrap your head around that.
Yeah.
Where does this come from? Where do people get to come up with this crap?
I don't know. I guess they just want to show that you're being extreme by coming up with extreme things in response. I don't know.
I suppose. I don't know.
But whatever.
Well, anyway, So, hi, Alexandra. I wish you had a website we could send people to, but hey, man, go for it. Go turn your school vegan, okay? Convert them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I think I've talked enough and I need a little bit of a break because I obviously cannot enunciate today. So we should move on to our musical segment.
Yeah, so this is our musical segment. This is recommended by Rococo Loco, who is a member of the Vegan Freak Forums. And this is a song that he said we absolutely had to play. And it's been... Did you hear that motor? Holy hell. Every week when we're on the show, some redneck was flying by on some kind of redneck death trap.
And we have the doors closed.
The doors are closed.
The windows are closed.
The windows are shut. And we even exercised a dog for an extra hour today, just to get him to be quiet while we were doing this. I'm not even going to play any punk so he won't get all excited. But every day we do this, somebody drives by on an ATV, a snowmobile, I don't know, chainsaws. Somebody's out there juggling chainsaws. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, to get to the music, this is this is Darla, and it's by the artist Y.
Darla, they've brought your eggs into my kitchen. I know you're wishing your bones weren't so soft, but your cage is just too small to move in. We're fucking grooving. In the city, it's a pity that you can't be grooving too. Ooh. And I know that you weren't born for a pot pie, that you weren't born for the cage in line. And I know that your ovulation's private and you're ready to be fertilized. Darla, you never said you were unhappy or you feel crappy. Never said anything at all, but I know you know you're not living the good life. If I could, I'd pick, lock you free. You'd live with Jeff and me on Fairmount Street. That'd be neat. Know that you weren't born for a pot pie, that you weren't born for the cage in line. And I know that your ovulation's private and you're ready to be fertilized.
Okay, so that was Darla from Y.
Yes, excellent song.
I like the little scratching at the end with the chicken. The
Yeah.
that part,
so cool.
I really dig that.
Yeah. So thank you, Rococo Loco, for that recommendation.
That's a great recommendation. And we've got so many good recommendations for music on our forums from all our users.
It's going to take us a long time to get through all of them. So if you don't hear what you recommended to us right away, we'll get to it.
Oh, we'll get to it. We've got a long queue.
Yep.
I was actually thinking about having like maybe a weekly just music, vegan music podcast.
We could do that.
I don't know if there's enough though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We could just stretch it out and play one every week.
Yeah, I guess. This seems like it's our 7th show.
I know, already.
Yeah. Well, anyhow. So, right, that was Darla. Now I want to kind of move over to someone who was kind enough, because of all of our pestering and annoying begging and pleading and groveling down on our knees, begging and asking for audio comments, someone actually drug out their microphone and left us an audio comment.
Yes, it was very nice. And someone named Eric left us a very nice comment.
And it's on the podcasting blog, and you can listen to it there, but it sounds like...
Yeah, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I haven't had time to really fix the play. It's actually a flash module that plays the audio. But if you download the audio, which you can do from there, you can hear the comment correctly.
Right.
So what we're going to do is play a couple clips from his comment. We don't have time to really play the whole thing, but we're going to play a couple quick clips. That's really hard to say.
Quick clips, yes.
Anyway, and you're a linguist. Tell us why that is. But the first clip is great. He introduces himself and kind of lays the stage for a couple questions he'll be asking. So here that is.
What is up, fellow vegan freaks? This is your vegan fan of the Vegan Freak radio show, podcast, whatever. Hey, just want to give you guys some support, give you some props for putting this all on and everything. Have a place for us vegans to go for, I don't know, comfort, something. For our voices to be heard. Yeah, people that care. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say how cool it is to just hear other people going through the same problems, the same things, dealing with people asking stupid questions, you know, about where do you get your protein and where do you, you know, how do you survive? The one I get all the time is you know, I could see myself as a vegetarian, but a vegan, I don't know. I mean, I like cheese too much, or I drink too much milk, or whatever. Like, I don't know if I could do that. But I mean, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. So that's what I say.
Okay, now in this clip, Eric goes on to talk a little bit about Genesis and how we're freaking not created to eat meat, or created not to eat meat.
Right, and I think not a lot of people are aware of actually what the Bible says on this topic, so he enlightens us and tells us all about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
And I mean, even I mean, we were freaking created to not eat meat. I mean, in the Garden of Eden, when God created the world, there was no death. I mean, no human killed any animal, and no animal killed any human for meat or otherwise. It was just like that. I mean, animals didn't even have a fear of man because they didn't have to worry about them eating them. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, every living being was a vegan. Every human, every animal was a vegan before the flood. It wasn't until the flood when God killed everyone and the whole food supply and everything because it was so corrupted. And after Noah came off the ark, and it wasn't until then that God said that, you know, now no longer is seed for you for meat, but these animals are for you for meat. And I mean, God didn't say just eat animals. You know, don't just have big pig roast where the only thing there is pig. You know, he said that, you know, the fruit and every herb and every vegetable is for yours for food, and then the seeds for meat. Well, now, you know, there's not enough of that, so you got to have some. So your meat now is animals. And then you get these people that all they eat is meat, and then they're wondering why they're getting kidney stones and having all these heart problems and everything. It's just all screwed up.
And the final bit we're going to play for you is Eric asking us if we're health nuts.
Yep, so here you go.
And we'll answer him.
Yep.
Just outside of the crap from meat, like, I mean, you take a lot of it out when you stop eating meat, all the poisoning in the food, like the steroids and the antibiotics that are pumped in all the cows and everything. But there's others that are outside of meat, like the partially hydrogenated oils and the like the food coloring and all the chemicals they use for preservatives. I was wondering what you guys thought about that. Have you looked into that at all or anything? I personally try to stay away from it as much as possible. But I was just wondering if you guys also considered that, or if you're more of just like a anti-meat. Are you like a health nut?
So, are we health nuts?
I wouldn't necessarily call us health nuts.
Why not?
Because we could do better.
Because you're a rice Nazi?
I insist on eating brown rice.
But you insist so much.
I know, but it's better for you.
You're right. I lost like 15 pounds just by switching to brown rice, pretty much.
Yeah, so see?
Okay, you're right. But are we health nuts?
I think we're getting healthier, but I wouldn't call us a health nut.
Why
Because
not?
we still eat a lot of processed foods.
No, we do not.
Yeah, we eat the fake meats occasionally. No, we don't eat like veggie burgers and stuff, but we eat a lot of the Chinese fake meats.
That's true. What else do we eat? It's processed, heavily processed.
Not a whole lot. We eat a lot of soy products. We're really good in I guess snack foods mostly.
What kind of snack foods?
Tings.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just could see we've been improving a lot in the last year. But because we're trying to eat more whole grains, so we try to eat, whole wheat bread, 100% whole wheat bread, and the brown rice, and fresh fruits and vegetables. And we've been eating a lot more than that.
That's why I think that we actually do a good job.
Okay. Well, maybe we do.
We still drink beer and stuff.
Yeah. But in terms of, you asked about the preservatives and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of chemicals, but sometimes they're really hard to avoid because they show up in the strangest things.
They really do.
Like high fructose corn syrup's a big one that's really hard to get away from.
That's true. I've watched you nearly break down in the bread aisle, like nearly have some kind of nervous breakdown.
I know. One of these days I'm just going to get around to making my own bread, and that way I don't have to have these breakdowns in the bread aisle.
Me, I just, as long as it doesn't have animal stuff in it, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
But I try not to eat too much shit.
Yeah. It's just, occasionally we have these times where especially for traveling, it's just hard to find. Like yesterday, we were stuck in the mall and Subway ran out of bread. Yep. How could Subway run out of bread?
No, they ran out of vegan bread.
Okay, all they had left was the bread with the cheese on it, so we weren't going to eat that. So what did we eat? We were really hungry because we didn't eat lunch before we left, and we ate French fries for lunch.
Yeah, but we weren't in like a regular mall like in the rest of America. We were in a rural mall.
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
They have like shops. Now here's what I don't get, right? White people have, historically where we live, white people have chased out all of the native population, killed them, lied to them, broken treaties, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you spend 150, 200 years, your ancestors chased out all the natives, and now what? You have stores in the mall that sell native things. What? You chase them out? You spend all this time chasing them out, yet you want to buy a dream catcher? Isn't that a little ironic?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they even had at the food court. They had this. I think it was like a hot dog wrapped in a pretzel.
Oh,
it just looked really gross. Disgusting.
Yeah, that was really gross.
But it's really sad how you can't find healthy food when you leave your house.
No, it's pretty tough.
You try and find some fresh fruit when you're out, and unless you're going to a grocery store, you're screwed.
You got to self-cater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we were in the food court eating French fries with a lot of ketchup and kind of throwing dirty looks at Subway, thinking, how could you run out of bread, you stupid idiots?
Yeah.
We were mad.
Yes.
Especially you. I was jonesing for some fries.
Yeah. I know, but Subway is good.
Subway is good, I agree. But French fries? I haven't had French fries in forever.
This is true. We've been pretty good about not eating the French fries.
So, are we health nuts? I have no idea.
Another part of his question was our primary reason for being vegan is animal related, is ethical reasons.
Yeah, that's right.
But secondarily, our families have lots of health problems, and we're trying to avoid that. And it's a big part of us being vegan as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to end up with high cholesterol that runs in my family.
Yeah, and all the kinds of things that run in my family. So. Yep. So, yes, we are concerned about our health. How's about that?
That's a good answer.
Long, convoluted answer.
Holy hell. Tangent.
Yes.
We're all about the tangents here on the Vegan Freak podcast.
We are.
Tangents are our life.
Right.
Yes. My students swear I have ADD.
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't think I do. No. But anyway. So, moving on. We received some really fun and kind of funny email.
Yes, from Tony. His blog is rollingdonut.com, and it's not a vegan-related blog. It's more a political blog. But his significant other is Danielle at Joe Paradox, who we've already mentioned on our show.
Mm-hmm. And he came up with this idea that he wanted us to talk about a little bit. And you want to talk about that idea?
Yeah. It was prompted by seeing in the news this week, apparently the owner of one of the raw food restaurants in New York City, a famous one, I think it's called Quintessence, was accused of being the subway flasher. Somebody apparently caught them on a camera phone. And of course they had to mention that he's like the raw food guy and he's vegan and everything. And so he was annoyed at the fact that every time a vegan does something stupid, it represents all of vegandom.
Of course.
And so how, as vegans, we represent all vegans. And how that's not fair, because when meat eaters do something stupid, they don't necessarily represent all meat eaters.
Yeah, they don't go, oh, the guy ate a burger before he did it.
Right, so that must have made him do it.
Yeah, I mean, the serial killer in Kansas, right? No one said, well, he was a meat eater. You never hear that. No. I mean, the subway flasher, does that mean he went into Subway and flashed people in the restaurant, or he was in the subway?
The subway in New York
underground.
City. Underground.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, different subway that we're talking about now.
Different subway altogether. But yeah, I mean, why is it that every single one of us vegans stands in for every other vegan everywhere in the entire world? It's not fair.
No, I mean, because we're a very diverse bunch.
Absolutely we are.
And just because we're vegans doesn't mean that, being vegan is the cause for everything else that we do.
I know.
Or is somehow related.
I don't get it. I mean, I guess they figure, well, you've got one kind of social disorder because you don't eat meat. Therefore, all your other social disorders must be related.
Exactly. And it gets actually kind of dangerous when this happens, because there was a woman, and I think it was in New Jersey, who was somehow convicted of child abuse, and she was a vegan, and they weren't feeding, I think they weren't feeding their children anything, really.
Yeah.
And
they were just crazy.
Of course, yeah, exactly. And of course, this all was related. They're vegan, and how vegan equals child abuse, and is what basically came out of this whole story. And it's not, I mean, out of the thousands and thousands of sad cases of child abuse every year, the one vegan, of course, is the one that makes headlines the most.
I mean, and you know that vegan parents are great to their kids. I mean, how about that new blog?
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Schmoo.
Yeah, we should have mentioned that in the shout-outs.
Oh, that's why
I forgot. We have forgotten
I don't know. It is so cool.
It is great. I got to tell you, man, this kid gets vegan sushi for lunch.
Yeah.
Brat. What a brat. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, we want Jennifer to come make our lunches for us before we go to work.
But there are these great pictures there.
Yeah, anyway, if you haven't seen it, she posts a picture every day of her son's lunchbox and what she packed for lunch that day.
I gotta tell you, that ain't child abuse. Some of the stuff this kid gets, I'm so jealous.
It's not. It's, in fact, inspiring for the rest of us, even if we're not kids.
I
want to get one of those lunch boxes.
Yeah, they were cool.
I know.
I completely agree.
Maybe actually make us eat like a more well-rounded lunch, because sometimes we forget to eat lunch because we're busy.
Or I have to go to the school cafeteria where they don't label anything ever.
Right.
I can barely even...
And we've told them about it, and it doesn't even seem to... I mean, things like refried beans, which could be vegan or could not be vegan.
So I have to go and ask, and they roll their eyes and all this other crap. It just gets... How hard would it be to put a little green bean on things that are vegan?
Not that hard.
Not that hard. Anyway, yes. So one vegan represents all vegans, and remember, you are speaking for an entire global movement every time you do something stupid.
Yep, so... Is this a warning for us not to do something stupid? I don't know.
I always do stupid
Me
things.
too, so...
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just wonder why that is. If you have any good responses, let us know. I mean, you could leave us an audio comment, or you could leave us some voicemail.
Or you could leave us a regular comment.
Or
send us an email.
Or send us email.
There are plenty of ways to get in touch.
Or come to our forums.
Indeed.
Come give our forums some love.
Yeah, or come visit us at the Toronto Vegetarian Food Fair.
Yeah, you could do that too. You could meet us in person.
Yeah.
We really aren't we're... I don't know why anyone would meet us.
I don't know, we're not that exciting.
No, we're really not. Okay, but anyway, moving on. So this week on Eric Marcus's show at vegan.com, Eric played a little clip that I did for his show in response to this whole idea of vat-grown meat. And I personally, the way I look at it, I mean, I don't know if you've heard this, but it's been around the vegan circles for a while. The idea being that eventually there could be meat grown essentially in a vat or in a tissue culture that originates from one or two or a number of cells taken from animals. So there's no more death in the meat industry anymore. If this were to happen, it would eliminate a lot of the suffering involved with meat and things like that. And so Eric was thinking that this would be a good thing for vegan seed. It would help to kind of move the acceptance of veganism forward and things like that. But to me, I don't think vegans would eat this stuff.
No, because it still comes from an animal.
It's still an animal product.
You still need the animal tissue to start it.
Absolutely.
Which bothers me tremendously. Plus, I don't necessarily like things grown in vats.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of... It's like this kind of weird technological solution, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't really go out of my way to eat genetically modified foods, and I can't imagine I go out of my way to eat tissue cultured foods.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think technology is the be all end all. I don't think it's the cure for all ills. I think, in fact, going back to organic and less technological means is the way to go, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, I agree with Eric. Eric's point is that, look, if everybody who, there are a lot of people who care about animal welfare and have compassion, but they don't have enough compassion to give up meat. And so he thinks that, well, if they can still have their meat without the compassion, that it would really help. And I completely agree with that. But I think vegans are, part of what vegans do, at least ethical vegans, is set an example. And we set an example that speciesism is wrong. And for me, even eating tissue cultured meat would be wrong, right? Because you're essentially reasserting the dominance of humans over other creatures. So I'm saying for vegans, I think that this is something that we shouldn't eat.
Right. Plus, I would imagine it's still not good for you.
Well, they could probably engineer it so it would be, just fine and dandy.
But one of the problems with meat is not necessarily the fat or the cholesterol, it's the protein.
That's true. T. Colin Campbell points it out in his wonderful book, The China Study.
Yeah, which is slightly problematic because it does talk a little bit about animal experimentation.
But Jenna, science is great and perfect, and will solve all our problems, just like capitalism.
Right.
Shh. These are the myths you're supposed to believe, remember?
Okay, sorry.
God. How long have you been an American for?
All my life.
What kind of American are you? Questioning science. Actually, wait, that's what Bush does.
Yeah, it's not mine. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well, anyway, the point is that I think personally, for the average consumer, this would be a step forward if you're willing to eat technological products that have some crazy origin to them. But for me, I think of it this way. I wouldn't eat human meat grown in these cultures, so why would I eat animal meat grown in these cultures? And I think it's important for vegans, for existing vegans who are vegans for ethical reasons, to avoid reifying or recreating these positions of domination. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, I don't know where the hell we're going
now. Well, thanks to our resident microbiologist on our forums,
right.
And another comment left on our podcast from last week, yeast is a fungi. Just to clear that up for everyone.
Well, I never thought it was an animal,
No,
but
of course not,
I thought there was a while when I remember being in school that...
Yeah, a long time ago when we were... Well, a long time ago when we were kids. When we had to walk, to school uphill both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
In January.
Yeah, there were only two kingdoms. Weren't there? Animals and plants.
No.
That was a long time ago.
But weren't they thinking about putting yeast in its own for a while?
I don't know.
What the fuck do I know? I'm a sociologist.
But anyway, yeast is a fungi, just like mushrooms.
So you can eat yeast.
Yes.
Thank God for nutritional yeast.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Absolutely. Oh, let me throw one more thing in before we close the show. Over at vegblog.org, we're working with vegblog.org to do a little giveaway.
Yeah, someone can win a copy of our book.
A signed copy of our book.
Yes.
And we'll write whatever you want in it if you go. So you should go over there and enter. It's not a scam. We're not going to steal your info. I mean, it's vegblog.org. I don't even see the info. All I see is who it needs to be sent to. But you should go over there and enter for a free copy of our book. Yeah,
and you should go over anyway because Vegblog's really cool.
Yeah, Vegblog is pretty good. So I think that's our show for this week. I have no idea. Are we done?
And we're done.
We're done. Like I said, this weekend coming up, we're going to be at the Toronto Food Fair. So if the next podcast is maybe a day late, don't panic. Although I imagine that there aren't many of you out there who are like, oh my God, the podcast is late. Your whole life revolves around it. I don't think so.
Right.
But anyway, don't be surprised if it's a little late.
Yeah, especially because we're going to be getting back, and then we have actual work to do.
Like real work?
Yeah, like day jobs.
Oh.
So we got to take care of that. But we promise you, as soon as we possibly can, we will put that podcast up.
Totally harshing my buzz with that day job stuff. But yeah, so we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have some fun interviews if the main disc player and recorder works okay. I'm a little worried about it.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We're going to record something somewhere or another.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And that's it. So I'm going to stop bantering on. We're going to close the show now. We're going to leave, shut it off, turn the computer off, close the PowerBook, be done with it.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm a soft machine. I'm a soft machine. I'm a fuzzy on top and squishy between. So just give me 5 if you're a soft machine.